Daily Broadside day 419. Okay, so Little Red Corvette, not because it's a hit, it's probably my favorite Prince song. It's just a great tune, right? And obviously he uses the car as a metaphor for a woman's body and just sexual promiscuity and whatnot. But here's the problem I have with it took me a minute to figure out, like, I guess I should have known by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. Like, bitch parked sideways in my driveway, and so now that makes me know it wouldn't let. But the car is like her ass, right? So I guess I should have known by the way you parked your ass sideways that it wouldn't let. Like, you could tell the way she carries herself, this ain't no long-term fling, right? But here's the problem I have, right? So, like, the next verse, he's like, she had a pocket full of Trojans, or a pocket full of horses, Trojans, as some of them used. Man, I don't care what your ass looks like. If you've got a pocket full of used condoms, we're moving on, okay? We've come to the end. We've come to the end of the road. I don't know who sings that, or if that was even the right melody. But yeah, that's where we call it finale right there. So Prince, but he went on with it, and then he's like, later on in the song, he's all despondent. He's like, oh, you know, I felt ill. Well, you should, because now you've got chlamydia. You know, you've got chlamydia, and she's got chlamydia in her pocket on those used condoms. That's gross. That actually has an E rating for explicit on, I think, Spotify. So just so you know. And secondly, when we're talking about 80s lyrics, we're talking about the summer of '69. Now, the Bryan Adams states later on in life that he wrote that as kind of a double entendre, and that summer of '69 didn't mean the year, but actually the position, which I find makes the song really stupid, and all that. And I'll tell you what I don't trust is standing on your mama's porch. You told me it would last forever. I don't trust any bitch gonna say that shit on her mama's front porch. Don't trust a girl talking on her mama's front porch. And I remember when City Slickers came out, right? That would have been like 89, 90, 88, somewhere around in there. And this City Slickers came out part 2, right? The Curse of Goldie's Curly's Gold, right? And I was watching, this was probably 10 years ago. I just happened to catch, like lucky me, City Slickers 2. And I don't think I had seen it. And I'm watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, like everybody else that watches these movies probably, they're like, man, cattle drive would be so much fun. You know, I could go out and find my soul and just push reset. You know, it'd be like a GFI outlet. I just reset my life and just start over. And so I started looking into it. I'm like, what does this cost, right? And yeah, it's like $4,800 to go out for a week in like Montana or Wyoming and drive cattle around. Now, here's the problem I have with this, okay? First of all, they pick you up at the airport and then take you back. Okay, all right, so we got a shuttle involved. I'm sleeping in a tent. I got a free vehicle because they've already paid for the horses. Like, why does it cost that much? How much do beans cost? Like, because that's all I'm eating. I'm just eating beans. We're going to be sitting around like blazing saddles around a campfire before we go settle in at 4 in the afternoon because it's getting dark and there's nothing else to do. Nobody brought a flashlight and some Monopoly game or anything, you know? But here's the other thing, right? So yeah, it doesn't cost nothing because what's the overhead, right? They got to drive these cattle anyway. We're pushing, like, we're helping do the work, right? If me and 19 other people go cattle driving on vacation, right? What's the difference? What, like, strawberry farmers in California should be like, hey, come find your soul, come reset your life at the strawberry patch. And meanwhile, they're out there just letting us do free labor. Like, man, these strawberries they're hard to pick. It's a lot of work, and I feel tired at night when I crawl into my tent with all my beans in my stomach. But I tell you, yeah, I'm really finding myself out here. I'm just finding my inner chi. It's coming back. It's all coming back around. Meanwhile, that dude's like, I got bushels and pecks and bushels of strawberries for free labor, and they paid me to pick them. That's what a cattle drive is to me. You should pay me to come out like a job. Like, hey man, I'll be a ranch hand. I'll drive these damn cows all the way to Pasadena. I'll drive them into the damn Pacific Ocean if you need me to. But I ain't paying $4,700 to have like ball sweat and you know, just pain. Who wants to? I've ridden a horse twice in my life. Once in the Sonora Desert and outside of Tucson, right? And man, you could be at a small galloping trot and feel like you're going 87 miles an hour on those bastards. And I remember where the other problem was. I think it was at somebody's farm, and I just kind of walked around one of those little rings, I think, when I was a kid. But I was a later age teenager in Tucson when I rode it, and it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable at all. Maybe women can get off on it, but I don't see how men ride horses. They're so damn wide, man. They need to make like a skinny horse, right? A little skinny horse is not so it's not so cumbersome on your parts, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I definitely don't want to drive across Wyoming on a horse, driving a bunch of cattle wherever. And then when you get there, you're like, what have we done? You know, we just put these cattle in a pen. And why are the horses 200 miles away to begin with? Who let them out? Just don't let them graze over there. And I don't understand why we're driving cattle. I don't understand the point of having the cattle go from one place to the other. And maybe I should have picked up more of that in City Slickers too, the Return or Curse of Curly's Gold. But I don't remember that because it's been 10 years. So there's that. So if anybody's got anything they want to say about cattle driving, fill me in. Let me know. Well, let me know your experiences. I'd love to hear if it really saved your life. Hey, Giddy.